So you want to become a high value, respected, strong and real masculine man. And you're trying to take all the correct actions in order to become that. But there will continue to be that one thing holding you back until you deal with it. Mindset is an interesting thing because you are able to achieve a lot even if your mindset is quite subpar. And you would look at the results that you're getting and you would think to yourself, there's no way I'm doing anything wrong if I'm actually getting good results. But you are doing something wrong. The worst mindset that you could have as a man on self-improvement is playing victim in any sort of way, especially when things aren't your fault. Because I could be doing my everyday thing at home, and my mum could come home and be in an awful mood and just ruin the atmosphere in the whole house. And what I could do is either accept the way she's being, take no responsibility, just try to avoid her for the rest of the day and avoid the elephant in the room. Or I could understand what she's like, and understand that she's a traditional feminine woman with strong emotions and try to help that. Because I know that if I do this and clean this over there and then tidy that a little bit and do that as well, she may still be upset about what she was upset about. But now it means that she's not going to bring down the house with her. I will be able to speak with her if I need to, and there won't be an elephant in the room that I have to try to avoid. And doing that will always be worth it. And this is why. Because I would only have to put in a bit of effort in order to help her. And the benefit that I now gain from putting in that little bit is that I saved the rest of my energy that would have been drained and would have been lost. Because she would have brought down the house with her and created an awful atmosphere in the house. So I give a little bit of energy so I don't lose more of it. And so the energy that I put in is definitely worth the energy that I would lose. Never having a victim mindset opens up your brain to constantly be able to improve and correct your own errors. In my video, The Hardest Part About Self-Improvement, I tell the story about how I hit a woman with my car. And now looking at it in hindsight, she should have been a lot more careful when crossing the road because she has everything to lose. Since if she's not careful, she could seriously damage her health or maybe even lose it. Whereas I could lose my car, my license or get fined, but I could get a new car, wait long enough or do what I need to do to get a new license, and I could make money back that I would have to use to pay the fine. And I would still have my health. And I could rightfully say that she should have been a lot more careful and that it's not my fault one bit. And the argument for that could easily be made, but that would only mean that I would stay ignorant to how careless some people could be when crossing the road and they have everything to lose. And countless other accidents could keep happening to me where I'm not at fault and the other person had more responsibility, but they would keep happening because it's not my fault. Which brings no good and people keep suffering, all because it's not my fault and I don't have to change. The idea of this video came to mind when I kept having this certain thought that just wouldn't go away. In my last job, my sales job, another one of my co-workers was this woman. And when I started working there, she was nice of course. But after working with her for some bit and having enough shifts together, her true colours started to show. She was a bitch. The other guy who worked there and the manager himself both jokingly kept saying that she's the boss. She would constantly take charge and constantly say what things should be like. And then there was one day where I was working with her and the other guy, and after I had talked with a customer, I came back to around the desk where we usually stood, and she asked me if I pushed the silent close onto that customer. And a silent close is a type of offer that the customers don't know about but the sellers know about, which they can use when a customer is on the fence so that hopefully they would go on the side of the fence where they would buy. So she asked me if I did, and I say that I haven't because on the weekly silent close email, it very clearly says that you shouldn't use silent closes on clearance items. She didn't read that and she didn't know that, so she went and checked the email. And she's seen that I was right, but what do you think her reaction was like? Do you think she took it on the chin, admitted she was wrong, and would look to improve herself so something like that wouldn't happen next time? Of course not. She jokingly says, "It's too hard, man." Cringe. And she says, "How are we supposed to remember all of that?" I still feel so much frustration remembering that. Because she tried to tell me off, and if I was wrong and she was right, she would have doubled down and thought she was the big boss. And I didn't get to feel the satisfaction of her being humbled after admitting she was wrong. And she also once mocked me after I did something wrong with the card machine when taking a payment over the phone. I did the wrong thing, but it didn't actually need any fixing because it could be dealt with and it didn't need, like it wasn't an urgent problem. She pointed out where I went wrong. I realised my mistake and I said, "Oh right." And she fucking mocked me and she said, "Oh right," back to me. I didn't say anything back because I think I didn't expect that, and I'm still not very used to confronting people like that. But I seriously regret not saying anything because she deserved to know how childish and stupid that was. And that could be another takeaway point from this video. Always stand up for what is right, because the pain of regret is so much worse than the pain of discomfort. That was slightly off topic, but I just need to get that off my chest. And nothing I said about her, and nothing that I said about her takes away from her selling ability. She was, and probably still is, a very good salesperson. But in 10 years' time, when she's still being a wagey, and I have everything that I've ever wanted in life, I will have the last laugh, and she will still be a bitch. If you do not attempt to control everything that you can, even if it's out of your control, you will suffer more than you need to. I live in a terraced council house, which literally means that I live in the middle of a row of houses that are literally conjoined. And of course it's not really good living here. There's a neighbour 2 doors down that has dogs that you probably hear in the background sometimes. The house to that side of me has their parents shouting often, and I hear that. And the neighbour to this side is right by my bedroom, so I can sometimes hear a muffled TV and even hear when they turn on the light in the bathroom. It is absolutely out of my hands that I live here and all of those problems are occurring. And I could just put my hands up and say that I give up and continue suffering in this mess of a place. Or I could take it upon me, make enough money, move out, retire my parents. And then it means that everybody that I care about doesn't have to suffer, including me. Because I took it upon me to fix something that most people wouldn't even take on the responsibility on to fix. Click and watch this video right now. Put in enough time and attention, because that will make anything into reality.